Hey, it's Colleen with Rope and Resellers, and here's my weekly update of what I sold on eBay for the week of November 26th through December 3rd, 2017. Okay, first thing I sold, Hyper Dash game, Wild Planet. It was a game that makes noise, and it came out of my basement, so I wanted it out of here. $16.99 is what it sold for. I didn't pay anything for it. It belonged to my children. And they said I could get rid of it. $6.50 for shipping and fees for a total profit of $10.49, and it took 3 days to sell. This is a bullseye costume from the Disney store. I bought it at a thrift store. It sold for $50 because it's after Halloween. I just wanted it out of here. It's a really cute costume, but it took up a lot of space. So anyway, it sold for $50, which I'm delighted about. $2.50 is what it cost me at the thrift store. $20.78 for shipping, PayPal, and eBay fees for a total profit of $26.72, and it took a month to sell. This is a vintage California pottery, Los Angeles pottery. It's very similar in design and type of pottery. This is a really pretty lightweight pottery out of the mid-century. So a lot of times they have the year on it. This one doesn't have the year, I don't think. Oh, 1959. It must have 59. So anyway, it was out front, came from my mom's estate. $25.49 is what it sold for. Didn't cost me anything. $18.50 for shipping. So I have two of them because the first one sold and she wanted it sent to her daughter, so she didn't have to pay shipping, which was fine. Except then you have to cancel the payment because she didn't have that stored in one of her addresses in her address book through PayPal. So I had to cancel the order, relist it, and in the meantime she went in and changed all of her information to her daughter's and added that address. So that took it from a zone 2 or 3 that cost me $10 to a zone 8, which cost me $15. So I lost $5 profit on this. But I was just happy to get it out of here. I've had it for a while. So the profit on that was $6.99. It took 21 months to sell. It's breakable. I don't buy big breakable things anymore. I don't list. Well, I should say I don't list. If it comes my way, I will still list it, but I don't like that stuff. Calico Critters Crib. So this is a little flocked doll. There are little rabbits and chipmunks and squirrels, and they sell really well. This is just an accessory that this little thing right here, it has a light and you wind that up and it spins around. It's not that exciting, but it was worth money. My daughters were going to donate it, so I pulled it out of the donation bin. $12.74 is what it sold for. Didn't cost me anything. $4.61 for shipping and fees for a total profit of $8.13, and it took 3 weeks to sell. Yes, this is the same statue I sold before. I will tell the whole story at the end, but basically it got returned. Sort of. Like I said, I'll talk about it in the end. Jim Shore, Mickey Mouse. This was so much, this made my day. After having to refund the guy for the statue, it was $644.84 to refund the statue. This sale came in. The guy says, "Would you take $200?" And all I could think of was, yes, that is very close. That is a lot closer to $644 loss. So I will take it. So I sold it for $200. They paid shipping. I collected $251.31. I spent $35 for this at a garage sale. I was hemming and hawing. I think they were asking like $45. I talked them down to $35. I knew it was worth over $200. I was thinking it was worth over $200. So with shipping and fees, it was $82.79 for a total profit of $133.52, and it took 3 months to sell, and it was big. So I was happy to have it out of my house because it didn't even fit in my eBay closet. It was so big. This is a Sundance, which is a label that I will show you that sells really well for me. It was a cashmere sweater. It was $29.99. I got it out of the consignment bag. So the consignment store I work with, I take their stuff to Goodwill. They let me pilfer through it, and I give them $10 for the bag, and usually it's a big garbage bag full of clothes, so it's a win-win, right? They don't have to take their stuff, because we live 45 minutes from a thrift store, so I'm going there anyway. I'll take it, pilfer what I want. It ends up being about $1 an item. I usually, maybe a little bit less. Usually there's 10 items that are worth my time, at least. So I figure $1 an item. Anyway, sold $29.99, spent $1, $6.68 for shipping and fees for a total profit of $22.31, and it took 2 months to sell. This is a carousel, like a slide projector. They're very specific to certain models. This is a 5-pin remote. It sold for $8.36. It didn't cost me anything. I picked it up at an estate sale in the free bin. $3.82 for shipping and fees for a total profit of $4.54, and it took a month to sell. Quick $5, basically. $4.50. This is a Tamis Keefe dish towel. So this is just a tea towel. Not very big, but very kitschy, very mid-century. This is the stuff I'm always gravitated towards. I don't know why. I guess because I grew up with it. You saw the platter earlier from my mom. That's the kind of stuff we had. So anyway, $39.99 is what it sold for. I know, right? For a tea towel. $3 I paid for this at an estate sale. $7.73 for shipping and fees for a total profit of $29.26. It took 4 hours to sell. So anything now I have learned that has some sort of like mid-century with a little name printed on it seems to do well if it's like kitschy mid-century. Theory women's long sleeve shirt. It's a size petite, which sometimes can be a hard sell, but it sold for $27.89. I spent $1 on this, came out of the consignment bag. $6.43 for shipping and fees for a total profit of $20.46, and it took 2 months to sell. The other thing I like about the consignment store is I get to see a lot of labels I'm not familiar with, because I would never pick them up. I would never take the time to look up Theory, but their shirts sell pretty well. This is a tablecloth. Just a card tablecloth, so it's not really big. It's 44 by 41 inches. It wasn't completely square, but pretty square. It had some stains. Funny thing is, I didn't have any tablecloths at Thanksgiving, so I had this one and a couple other ones, and I threw them on my table, and I used them for Thanksgiving, and then I listed them, washed them, took the stains out of them, and listed it. I got $18.59 for that. I paid $5 for it at an estate sale, $6.42 for shipping and fees for a total profit of $7.17, and it only took 1 day to sell. So certain ones I'm finding, fruit, animals, stuff like that. Flowers, not so much. There's a lot of flowers. Vintage rotary phone. It's brown. It's not particularly old. It's an ITT, so it's not even AT&T, so it's kind of a weird brand. But people still want them. It worked great. I called it from my cell phone on my landline. So I sold it for $27.89. They paid shipping, so $36.04. I paid $3 for this at an estate sale, $13.07 for shipping and fees for a total profit of $19.97, and it took 2 days to sell. I will not pick up these rotary phones for more than $5 because some are worth more. Now, if it's like a turquoise one or pink, the pink princess phone, I think is still worth money. And any of them that are kind of that weird round donut looking kind that are like a donut on its end, those sell really well. This and the next thing, so this Spirit Mountain pin, really simple. It's a ski area. This is another ski area pin tie tack thing, sold together. The Spirit Mountain sold for $7.43, and this one sold for $9.29. I paid 62 cents for each of them, so $1.24 for the two. $5.23 total in shipping and fees for a total profit of $10.67. 60, I'm doing math in my head. $10.65 is the total profit on those. Oh yeah, so, and I also had a broken mug, which I will also talk about. I shipped it, the handle broke, he told me, I filed it. So I got my money back right away. I mean, within a week. So this happened last Monday. he told me, and he sent me pictures, so it was super easy. You just upload the information on the USPS site. They cut me a check, and it was here by Saturday. So that was no loss, but I haven't had a mug break in ever, I don't think. I've had pottery break, but I've never had a mug break, so it was really weird. Who knows? Shipping's a nightmare right now. I've got another thing in the works. Anyway, so if you include all of my breakage and everything, and the fake statue that I shipped to Belgium, I lost $170 this week. But since the USPS paid me for the broken mug, I only lost $110.73. Total cost of goods, $51.74. The biggest one being that Mickey statue for $35. But I knew that I was going to clear $100 profit on that, so I was fine with paying up a little bit. I'll spend $35 for $100. Thank you. $182.56 for shipping and fees, for a total loss for the week $345.03. Amazon, I sold 12 shirts. I made $71.83. So that brought my loss up down to $273.20. Now I'm not freaking out. I can look at the whole month. I broke the statue out at the end of the month, so the lower part of my sheet is December, and I'll switch that on to the next. I don't keep them all on the same spreadsheet. I have a different spreadsheet for every month. So anyway, I'll break that off. But if I look at the whole month of December, my profit for November is still fine. It's not great, obviously. This sale happened in October, so to have to refund the money the next month is always kind of painful because the books don't balance quite as well. But I'm honestly, what are you going to do? You can get upset about it or just move on and lesson learned. So, rough week. You think slow sales are bad? Let's try refunding the most expensive thing you've ever sold and feeling slightly nauseous when the email comes in and you're at your other job and you're trying to keep yourself together, and you basically receive a letter from a gentleman in Belgium saying that you sold me something that's fake. I burned a hole in the bottom of it to test it. You know right away when you hold it that it's not real. And I'm very disappointed. So inside I'm panicking, but I'm at work and I'm trying to keep it together. And I'm really stressed out at work because I work for a performing arts center and our season's coming up and there's a lot of pressure there because we start our season at the end of December. So we need to get a lot of press stuff out. Anyway, I'm trying not to have a panic attack, and I immediately email him and say, I'm sorry, it wasn't my intention, I didn't mean to, send it back and I'll give you a full refund. Send it back in the original condition. And then he comes back and says, I told you I burned a hole in the bottom of it. I can't send it back to you in the original condition. I was thinking that since it went to Belgium, I might be able to have them ship it back and I'd be able to recoup my losses. And because they're still worth money, even made out of resin, it's still a vintage statue. It's still collectible, but maybe in the $25, $40 range, not in the $600 range. But I could get some of my money back. Well, then I looked to see how much the shipping was. It was $44 back from Belgium. So I thought, well, that's kind of stupid. I'm not going to make any money off this thing. And it has a 1-inch burnt hole in the bottom of the statue, making it almost completely valueless. So back and forth. He's trying to return it. I said, okay, that's fine. Just set up a return. I'll instantly refund you. But he couldn't, so he said, can you just refund me? Do not. If you learn nothing else, here's my hugest tip. Never, ever just refund someone through PayPal. Don't do it. Don't do it. So I said, I will call eBay first thing in the morning, which I did, and we'll work this out. So I call eBay in the morning. She reads through all the messages. Here's my other big tip. Here's lots of tips out of this one experience. Document, and I've said this before, document everything through eBay. Use the email system. Go back and forth, have a conversation online. You can do a telephone conversation with someone. I would try to record it and let the people know that you recorded it, because you want everything completely documented, because that's what eBay's going off of if they're going to decide a case. And something with this amount of money, you really want them on everybody's side and know the clear picture. So she read through those emails. I said, I just want to refund him through PayPal. That's the agreement. He can't set up a return. Can you send him a return authorization? She tried through the Belgium site, and she said, oh, this is why he can't do it, because you can't do it through Belgium. So she tried to send him a return email or authorization, and it didn't work. So she said, go ahead, refund him through PayPal. I've documented it here. I got my fees back from PayPal. Now I have to go, and once the invoice shows up, I'll have to fight for the fees from eBay. But basically, I was able to have eBay agree with me to document, and I refunded him through PayPal. Lesson learned. It's fake until it's proven real if you don't know anything about it, which I do not know about Argolite. I did a ton of research. I probably researched it for 2 solid days. That was 2 days of my life that I could have been listing other things. Instead, I have a university really close by with artifacts and people who know about them. I could have just taken it down there, and I'm sure they would have, I mean, like this guy, it was cold, so I thought, okay, it's stone, and it's heavy, so I thought it's stone, and it's carved, so I thought it's stone. I don't know what stone carvings look like. He does. He's an expert. That's why he's willing to pay $600. That's why when he put it in his hand, he knew immediately it wasn't stone. Go to a museum, go to an art gallery, go to a university, go to an expert. It's fake until it's proven real. So that's my first lesson. Number 2, always document through eBay. She was very nice. I can't say enough about concierge. They are rocking my world. This is the second time I've had to call them. They're awesome. What else did I learn? Be nice. This guy came at me. You're selling me something fake. I'm really disappointed. You know, deep down inside, I'm panicking. And so I was honest. I just said, I never sold this to you with the intention of selling you a fake. I did not know. I want to say I'm sorry, and I want to make this right. As long as you are good and you're patient and you treat them exactly how you want to be treated, hopefully if they're not a jerk, there are people out there that no matter what you've done, you have upset them. You are going to make it whole, let them know that you're on their side, that you're going to make it right, and especially a high-cost item, and be professional. When all was said and done, I think also having a cool down period is really important, not to feed into the reaction. Either give yourself time when you respond initially for the email, or respond immediately and then say, I'm going to call eBay and I'm going to do the right thing by them. I'm going to work with the company that I work with and make sure that we're all on the up and up. So that's a lesson learned. Just be professional. When all was said and done, his last email to me after I had refunded him, he said, I see that I have already been refunded. I want to let you know that I appreciate your professional responses, and I can't remember exactly how he phrased it, but basically he said he was happy with the way I handled it. He thought I handled it professionally, and if I ever come across a real statue, he would not hesitate to purchase from me again. It's all good. Except that now I'm out $645 that I thought I had. That was an expensive mistake. The mug, which is also the main shot that I had for that video, it was a black mug with a yellow inside. It was a National Public Radio mug. The handle broke. I took care of it. I filed a claim I had a check within a week. Moving on. So you think bad sales are bad? Try a bunch of returns. And my fingerlings is somewhere in Los Angeles, lost on its way to Las Vegas from November 16th. Luckily, that customer hasn't been giving me a hard time. I really would like to hear back from the post office before I refund them, and I have not said, I'll refund you, because I don't really want to do that until I find out what happened to the package. If the post office says it is lost or destroyed, we'll refund you your money, then I will refund the customer. But I just kind of want to wait on that one. Plus, I'm done refunding people stuff. So there's my life lesson. Speaking of post office, I just want to remind you that the holidays are coming up and deadlines are coming up. For first class mail, it's December 19th. For priority through the USPS, it's December 20th. For express, which does not exist in the state of Montana, so I never offer it and I never use it, it's the December 22nd. So those are the final dates. If anyone asks you to mail them, tell them it will get there after Christmas, and the U.S. Post Office will not guarantee delivery before Christmas. So those are the dates, 19th, 20th, 22nd. I don't know about FedEx or UPS or any of those. I don't use those services very often, but that's where we're at with the post office. So I hope you're having a much better week than I had, and I'm hoping that my next week will be much better. And I want to thank you for watching and learning with me, and I hope you have a stressful, hectic, productive, and profitable week.